Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, CeeChronicles here. If you're joining me for the very first time, guys, I post fragrance related content and I would very much appreciate it if you did consider joining us here by subscribing. And to those who are returning, thank you so much guys for the continued support. I appreciate you as always. Now welcome to a 4-in-1 fragrance review video. I have decided guys to bring you the entire range of the Rave Now collection. And I know there are 5. The pink one is missing, but I didn't want to keep you in suspense for so long, guys. The pink one is pretty hard to find for now. I think that is because it's fairly new on the market. However, it has been passed off as inspired by Burberry Her Elixir, and I got this information from Frag Bar. So they sell a lot of fragrances, so they're probably onto something there. So if you like Burberry Her Elixir, then you ought to try that one, but we don't have it here. What we have is the original Rave Now, which is the black one, and we have the Rave Now Rouge, which is the red one. They are all identical, guys, just different colors. And then we have the blue one, which is the intense. And then lastly, we have the white one, which is, yeah, it's just white, right? So anyway, I'm gonna go straight into this so that the video doesn't take an eternity and tell you my thoughts. I did drop a full review for the original Rave Now, which is this one, guys. But to recap, in case you didn't watch that review, this is a pineapple bomb. If you love pineapple in your fragrances, this is gonna give it to you. Expect a little bit of a woodiness going on there, but mostly pineapple. So everything else that is in this fragrance doesn't get to disturb the pineapple. So this is a tropical sweet scent. The pineapple in here, guys, feels very jammy. It feels very sweet. It's a ripened pineapple. And to give you a mental shortcut, if you had those little pineapples sitting in the sun, or you even passed by that aisle where they're selling pineapple and you have those juicy pineapples, that is how I can explain this. To explain the other notes is basically a waste of time, because what you're going to get is pineapple, pineapple, and pineapple. This fragrance, guys, is in the same vein as Nishani's Hasavat. So if you like that style of DNA, then this one's going to do it for you. The lasting power is remarkable as well. So in as much as it's summer tropical forward there, it does have a great lasting power. This was the reason behind me buying the entire collection, because I was impressed by the performance of this one, guys. So that is it for this one. If you want the full review, I'm going to drop it in the description for ease of reference. So we're going to move on to the next one. The next one, guys, is Rouge. Now, I know I've done a favor, to the two, the white one and the red one. I did dedicate full reviews, but I didn't feel the need to dedicate a full review to this one. And I'm going to tell you why, guys. This, to me, feels like Lattafa's deliberate attempt to create a fragrance that really doesn't say much. I do not get a fragrance that I can pin to anything. It is built around resinous DNA, so do expect a warm, sweet feel in this fragrance, right? Do expect it to feel rich and embery there. It also is spicy, herbal, aromatic, a woody tone to it. There's a lot going on, but it's not saying what it is. So it just feels as though Lattafa went into the perfume factory and said, let us build something around a resinous DNA. That is what I get. Feels a lot like something that Serge Lutens will do, if that is going to help. They do have a fragrance called Ambre Sultan, kind of feels like this, but this is not a dupe of it. So I didn't want to dedicate 10 minutes, guys, to tell you absolutely nothing. I like to bring fragrances that I'm clued up on what they're inspired by. So what I can say, guys, about Rouge from the Rave line is, once I get to the bottom of what I think this is, or once I come across something that is similar to this, then I'm going to tell you. Otherwise, a fragrance that is filled with an element of mystery. However, in terms of gender, this leans, I'm going to say 70% masculine, but 30% of women can pull this off. It's a lovely fragrance overall, but it is just a puzzle that's hard to pin. Great performance from this one as well. Does leave a trail. A 2-meter scent bubble. People are going to smell this. But as for people guessing what you're smelling like, I'd love to know that. So if you know, guys, in the comment section, do help us with this one. I'd very much appreciate it. It's Rave Now, the Rouge one, and it's sitting on our number 2. Now, third on the lineup, guys, is going to be the white one. Now, this is a citrus like no other. We have exhausted this in terms of talking about it, but because it is part of this collection, it had to make the 4. Now, the white one, guys, is a citrus, but what I like about the citrus is it's not your basic summery citrus. You can tell from the DNA here that they would go in for a spatial fragrance. What I likened this one to, guys, is MFK's Emery's, and I do think it does represent part of that DNA fairly well. To an extent, I'm going to put it at 75% similar to that DNA. It is venti toned, so it has a decent lasting power. There is the citrus is there, but there are a lot of also, citrus notes that are anchoring that very citrus, which is maybe lemon verbena there, just to make sure that the citrus is in its intensity. So that is what to expect, guys, from this white one. It's not in the same vein, guys, as Guerlain's Le Frenchy, because in most cases, when we talk of citruses doing the most, some of you that have used Le Frenchy or just Citrus by Paris Corner would think, oh, maybe it's in that same vein. No, this has got a twist to it. It's got a pizzazz to it. Great fragrance overall. I cannot fault it. It is Rave Now White, and it is the 3rd one on this list. Now, last but not least, obviously, because we're looking forward to Lattafa dropping more of the series, is going to be Rave Now Intense. I deliberately put this one on the number 4 because this one is, if you thought Rave Now the Rouge was confusing, this one is even worse. I'm going to spray it, guys, and just tell you what I think of it. This, to me, is an intensely, from the word intense, intensely indecisive fragrance. It doesn't represent anything. It's a mishmash of all the blue fragrances you can think of on the market that are popular. 1 minute you get wafts of what feels like a Dior Sauvage, and then you get what feels like Bleu de Chanel, and then you get what feels like Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue, and then what you get, it's everything happening at the same time. I don't know what they were going for. However, what I feel they did with this one was, we're gonna make a blue fragrance, but people are so tired of the obvious, the Dior Sauvages. People are so tired of that. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna mishmash everything. This is a fragrance I cannot pin, but I can say to you outright, if you like blue summery fragrances, you're gonna love this. It is a spicy fragrance as well, fresh. It's cologne in nature, aquatic, with a peppery sage there. It is also a DNA that is outright masculine. It is the sort of fragrance that by just spraying the first spray identifies as a masculine fragrance. But if you are into fragrances like myself and you wear whatever you want to wear and you're a woman, you can wear this. I wish I could come and tell you outright that this is inspired by that. So I'm going to just say this is a blue fragrance, guys. It is masculine leaning, great for summer. It does have a harsh opening. The opening is not very pleasant. It's a fragrance that maybe you want to spray maybe 20 minutes before you wear your clothes, and then you wear your clothes after you've sprayed it, not necessarily directly on yourself, because it does have like a rancid opening there that's a bit rough around the edges. But if you don't mind that, then it's going to do it for you. Definitely the least favorite of mine from the 4, and it's Rave Now Intense. So anyway, guys, before I close this video, let me give you a quick rating of what I think of them in terms of my favorite to the least favorite, although that's going to sound pretty obvious, right? Okay, the very favorite of mine is going to be this one. I love this fragrance. This is very different. Nothing that Lattafa has given us before. Very unique. It's not your typical citrus. So the white one is going to be my utmost favorite, followed by the Pineapple Bomb. I absolutely love this one. Cannot fault it. If you can see my dent there for a fragrance that I haven't had for even a month, that's a lot there. I love this particular one. Very nice fragrance. This is going to be my number 3. I'm not going to say I love this fragrance, guys, because it gives me a little bit of everything. It's all over the place, but it's okay. It's not as bad as this one, okay? So that is going to be my number 3. Then the intense one is going to be on my number 4. Obviously, when we bring the pink one might tuck itself somewhere in between there. It could be the number 1. It could be the number 2. I don't know. But that is what I have for now, guys, from the Rave collection from the house of Lattafa. I do hope you found this video helpful. Let's meet in the comment section where we obviously discuss more about fragrances. Do turn on post notifications if you haven't already. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been your girl, CeeChronicles, and remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.